So 3 months postpartum, what is that looking like? Women are still adjusting to their physical and emotional changes, obviously brought about by childbirth. Hormonal fluctuations, physical recovery, and mental health are really important factors to consider. So how do we build them back with confidence? You now know how to do an abdominal draw-in maneuver, as well as layering it with pelvic floor activations. We've talked about building on core awareness, and now we're going to do some exercises that relate more specifically to core stability for postpartum. So now we're going to go through a couple of progressions in terms of dead bugs. So really good for the core, good for your posterior chain, as well as your quads as well. Okay, so you all know your standard dead bug. You want to tuck your tailbone. You're cueing your client so their shoulder blades are down onto the ground. Inhale. On the exhale, they're going to lift their feet up into your tabletop position. Again, be mindful of abs here. So you're thinking belly button to spine. Okay, you all know the cues here, except instead of doing a normal dead bug as they're progressing 12 weeks on, you can add some resistance. So you can put your opposite hand to the knee. Okay, you inhale. On your exhale, you're going to go long and back. So I'm actively pushing with my hand and my knee into each other, so they're competing, okay? So you're trying to push them together like glue. Inhale. On your exhale, go long, engage the abs, the foot goes long, and come on back up. Again, mindful that they're not tilting their pelvis, okay? If you see any doming here happening, if you see any arch of the back, the exercise is too hard, and I want you to regress it back down, okay? Second option. This is the harder option. You put the hand and knee on the same side together. So tuck your tailbone, soft shoulders, inhale. On your exhale, these two are going out and coming on back in. Again, I'm pushing the same hand and the same knee into each other to get some resistance. All about maintaining that neutral spine here. Inhale. Hands pushing in on the knee. Exhale, go long and back. Another exercise to make sure that you are really working through the torso functional movement patterns is to step on out to the side. As if you're going to do a lunge, you're bending, pushing your bum back, and you're reaching across your body and back in again. Make sure they've got the right resistance for them. Depending on who they are and what their strength is like. And then you're using that foot to stand back up again, so playing around with balance as well. Shoulder blades back and down. Inhale. On your exhale, stepping out to the side and going for a bit of trunk rotation, like a modified wood chopper. Okay, so you're using the resistant band to engage your abs, your transverse, so you're getting your obliques on the side, step out to the side. Inhale while you're standing. Exhale, raise the arms. Okay, this is a really good one to cue pelvic floor. Check in with them. If they step out, can they engage pelvic floor and their abs while they're twisting, and then stand back up. Another really great exercise for core and stability here is a variation of an oblique lift. Okay, so you're going to extend your right foot long, your top leg. Make sure your elbow is under your shoulder. Shoulders back. You know how to do probably one of these normally where you're coming up here, okay? But this time what I want you to do with your client, if they are ready and comfortable, so a progression, is as you lift, your arm raises above your head, and I want you to have a play around with bringing that foot forward and back. Okay, see my top toe is flexed back towards my face. I'm reaching forward and I'm reaching back, squeezing my obliques, trying to get the gap as big as I can between the mat and my obliques, and then you're coming back in. So now you know how to do some really good different variations of a dead bug, some mountain climbers, and side plank variations. So you've got them under your belt to be able to show your client how to do them. The other thing I wanted to talk about was stamina. So you need to make sure your interval training incorporates moderate intensity exercise. Think jogging, you could do the elliptical machine depending on how their pelvis is feeling. You could put them on a bike, but just check in with them first. Another really useful exercise program that you can work through is a resistant band program. So then you can just work through some lateral band walks. You've got your clams for glute stability. tricep extension pull-aparts, and a pull-off press. Now we jump into functional fitness. Your client should now have a baseline understanding of their core breathing and their pelvic floor, so we can start to work through some circuits. Body weight circuits is the best way to start because then they can kind of see how their body's moving and just check in with how they're feeling. Think push-ups, inchworms, Russian twists, some single leg deadlifts, so they're getting that they're getting trunk rotation as well. Walking lunges and squats. Then you can start layering it, potentially do some kettlebell workouts. Again, it's being mindful of how they're using their core. So you're looking at things like some single arm kettlebell farmers marches. You've got your alternating gorillas row, squats and deadlifts. You know these ones. It's just about checking in with them, making sure they're feeling okay and their form is good. So now you're setting your client up for success. You've got your baseline, you're starting to get functional movement back in, which is going to give them a confidence boost as well as a mood boost. So make sure you include some mobility and flexibility, so the body's not tight. Obviously, an immobile body leads to unnecessary pain. No one needs that, which can affect your mental health. Again, we're already working with heaps of different things here, so it's just about propping them up and making sure they feel good in their own body. Keep checking in with how they're feeling mentally and physically, and then support them in terms of rebuilding to get a strong, balanced foundation so they can get back to what they love.